Hello and welcome to all you Capricorns. Welcome for your monthly forecast for Capricorn for April 2015. Now I made a separate video because in April there's again quite happening a lot with the planets, and I made a separate video of the lunar eclipse. So if you want to know more, find out more about the lunar eclipse on the 4th of April, there is a separate video. I will be talking about it though for you, in particular what it means for a Capricorn, and also something about the Saturn Neptune square and Venus, but which will be way less important for you. So let's get started with what is most important for you. Now this lunar eclipse is important for those Capricorn, so for all Capricorns. You will feel it, but the ones that will feel it the most will be the ones that were born around, let's have a look. So if you have some planets around 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 degrees of Capricorn, and that means that you will be born around the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 3rd even of January. So those people will feel it the most. And now this eclipse is having the sun in Aries, which is the bottom of your chart, and having the moon at the top of your chart in Libra. So an eclipse is always about clarification. It's always about a more understanding, especially a lunar eclipse. Things become clear. Of course, for better or for worse, because when things fall into place, sometimes we like it and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we all have an ego, don't we, that is attached to certain things or certain people. And if we realize that we need to detach ourselves from that, because it's a lot about detachment when it comes to this lunar eclipse, because Uranus, the planet of detachment, the planet of liberation, the planet of cutting the cords is involved here. It means that with the eclipse, a lot of people, when you've got the feeling like this is happening here for a long time and I've had enough of it, it is kind of now the time to cut those cords. Now, of course, when you've got planets there, or progressed planets in Capricorn, and in Libra, in Aries, or in Cancer, those are the ones who feel this eclipse the most. Now, for you, this is happening on the axis of home and family and work. So the eclipse is actually in the top of your chart, which is for a lot of people could be work or could be connections with authorities in general. So if you are someone who has been struggling for years and years, or maybe some months, with the fact that you're not content when it comes to work, now can be the month that you say, I had enough of it and bye-bye. I cut the cords and I go on with something else. So it can be that kind of a month that there are shifts going on. And so there is this energy now that we can all tap into for the best. And in other words, to try to create a new environment when for you it comes to work. And for most Capricorns, work is quite important. So it's quite important that you can be your authentic self when it comes to work. Pluto is in your sign and it is triggered. The Pluto-Uranus square is triggered by this eclipse. So a lot of you people, Capricorns, will feel that this is a situation that you can no longer hold. It's that kind of feeling. But others, it can be a minor adjustment as well, that you say, okay, I need to do something different, or I need to take on a different project when it comes to work. Or it's a very sensitive period for those who have a bit of a clash going on or difficulties going on with their bosses. So although it is the moon in Libra, which wants to be a diplomat, there is this restless energy that could prompt you into a bit of firework there. So, but whatever it is meant to be that way, that you try to adjust and that you are on course again. That's what eclipses are trying to do. And Capricorns is a sign that is very cautious normally, unless you have some other planets, of course, in your chart. But normally, in general, Capricorns are not a reckless sign. Now, what else is going on? So that's one thing when it comes to, and of course, your home family, indirectly, your home and family situation can be triggered as well. So maybe because of work, you need to move, or maybe because of work, you need to work at home, for instance, or put an emphasis there. Or you need to renovate your house in order for you to work at home, or whatever. This could be possible. Another thing that I think is positive about this eclipse is that Psyche is involved. Psyche is it's not a planet, it's a planet, an asteroid that is at the moment of the eclipse very close to the Sun. And what is Psyche all about? Psyche is about the soul. It's about spirit. And what is the Sun about? Because it's next to the Sun is also about soul and spirit. So it means that whenever people are taking new directions, it's really taken out of consciousness and of connection with your deepest soul, or with the divine, with something that is bigger than you, if you like. And this is really important, that people do what the best is, not only for themselves, but for the whole. And quite often it is a step that we need to take that shifts our direction, but for the good, for where the soul wants to go. So that's just a little detail there that I thought is really interesting, because we are really connected to our souls during that period of time, and we can detach ourselves. This is really important, because not only that the moon is in an air sign, but also because Uranus is involved. So we can be a bit detached of our emotions, and therefore take the right decision. And we need to believe in that to do it like that. Now, another thing that is important is the Saturn Neptune square. The Saturn Neptune square Saturn is for a whole year, approximately. But you will feel it now in April again, because it's triggered by Venus. Venus is the planet of value, of what you value, what you love, what you like. It's love, it's money, and so on. And it will be in your 6th house as from the 12th of the month. Now, normally this is very nice, this is very good for everything that has to do with your pets, with your day-to-day routine, your day-to-day work. So this means having enjoyment there. But there can also be, especially around the middle of the month, so it's just a little warning there, around the middle of the month, if you feel a bit disappointed when it comes to colleagues, when it comes to working with colleagues, when it comes to your day-to-day routine that you might think is not good enough, just don't push too hard, because the disappointment is because the Neptune and Saturn square, and this is in the area that has to do with your communication, your thinking level, and the area that has to do with the subconscious. So there are things there that you might have been idealizing a bit too much. If that is the case, just try to adjust yourself. Or, but I don't think for you Capricorns that will be the case. The other scenario could have been that you haven't been working hard enough when it comes to work. But normally, and as a rule, Capricorns do have a good work ethic. So I think it's maybe too much, you know, wanting things to be a certain way, and that's more of a Capricorn thing. Capricorn is quite controlling, and it wants certain things going their way. Nothing wrong with that, but be aware that you're not pushing too hard this month. That's just basically it. So that's the most important that's going on for you Capricorn. It could be a very interesting month when it comes to your work, especially for those who have work-family life. Especially for those who have planets around those degrees. Check out the other video if you like. I wish you a very good month and see you next month. Bye-bye.